Three, two, one, zero.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Well, good afternoon, and you're very, very welcome to the live Student Enterprise Programme finals for County Longford. And we can see all the live viewers are starting to join us. We've well over 60 people live on YouTube and a few more coming in on Facebook as well. And you're all very, very welcome. We have a packed hour and a bit to go through some amazing prizes, but actually some amazing student entries. Some of the businesses that we've seen as we're going through this afternoon are just spectacular. Some of the innovation, some of the ingenuity and perseverance that an awful lot of students have put into their program and their offerings are just amazing. So we don't envy the judges on this one. And I wanted to just give a quick shout out to some of the schools and some of the entries, and some of the names are just fantastic. So we have this afternoon competing for the awards, Art School Porrick in Granard. And the business names from there is A&A Jolly Jars, Baking in Isolation, Choco's, RNC Controller Stands. Representing Ballymahon Vocational School, we have Handy Hooks, Coasters with Purpose, BVS Wood Burnings. For Knockmirror Granard, we have EMCI Sports, F&D Lifestyle, Handem Wear Tops, Happy Hats, Sticklings, Save Your Breath. On Main School Mirror, we have Dazzling Decor, Ethereal Jewellery, Nitty Gritty, Peg Picks, Picture It, and the Butterfly Effect. Mercy Secondary School in Ballymahon, Dead Cool Lip Scrubs, Mercy Hats, Mercy Masks, Stress Balls, Stress It Out, and Tremendous Decorations. And Moyne Community School, we have CITJ Products, Cloud9 Coasters, CSC Mask Bag, and Frame It. St. Mel's College, we have NSP Key Holders, Power Bands, Row Cover Project, Stable Tables, Starlight Candles. Oh, there is some amazing business there, and you're going to see them. So if you're here in the room and you want to shout out for your team, for your school in the county, use some of the chat, and we'll be putting some of the comments live up on screen. So I want to welcome in the Mayor and Cathaoirleach of Longford County Council, Councillor Paul Ross. How are you doing, Paul? Are you well?
Very good today, Noel, and thanks very much for the introduction there, Noel. It's a very exciting afternoon we have in store, and I'd like to wish everyone the very, very best of luck. I suppose the Student Enterprise Programme is Ireland's largest student business programme, and since it began in 2003, over 220,000 students have taken part, learning key skills on how to create a business, start a business, and more importantly, grow a business. This enterprise education initiative, funded by the government through Enterprise Ireland and delivered by the 31 local offices in local authorities throughout the country, saw over 29,000 students from almost 500 secondary schools across the country take part last year. In Longford this year, over 100 students from 7 schools are taking part. As I said, I'd like to compliment everyone who has put the effort in and their teachers to participate in this competition. I can see from the entries there that Noel went through that COVID has had an impact on this. And obviously, this is the first time we've ever had an online presentation in this manner. So like the Oscars and the Golden Globes, everything's online these days. So we're right up there with that technology. There will be, apart from the winners awards in senior, intermediate and junior, there will also be special categories for the most creative business idea and the best business development idea. So I think there's an awful lot of prizes to go around there. So I'd like to wish everyone very, very lucky in all their own categories. In Longford, I suppose, as regards business, we've got a very, very busy enterprise office headed up by Michael Nevin, who I'm sure you're all familiar with and we'll be speaking later on. But we're also providing a platform for business in Longford. In the last 2 years, we've identified funding for innovation and technology hubs. And we have fully funded ones in Edgeworthstown, which is currently at construction stage. We have one in Abbeyshrew, which is just at pre-construction stage. And also only last week, we got funding for a hub in the providers building in Longford Town. And that'll be really our flagship innovation hub. And those hubs are designed for people like yourselves who are starting small businesses, to give you a cheap way, I suppose, to get your business up and running off the ground, to use the hub as a platform to grow your business and as an office space as well. It's something we think is very, very important. Post-COVID, we expect a lot more businesses to move back to rural Ireland, and with the rollout of broadband nationally, this is a very, very important part of that as well. So look, I won't take up any more of your time. Just before I go, I'd like to thank everyone for taking part. I'd like to thank everyone who organised this event, Noel, your MC, Anna Lane in the council, and Michael Nevin in his office. I'd like to thank Martina from Optimum Events, and especially all the schools who took part, all the teachers who mentored the kids, and all those students who took part in this course or took part in this competition yourselves. As I say, it's very exciting. There's some fantastic new businesses starting up there, and I hope to see you in some of our hubs in the next couple of years. So the final will take place on the 14th of May. So just to congratulate everyone for taking part and wish everyone the very, very best of luck, and to wish all our winners well in the final. So thanks very much, Noel.
Not at all. It's great. And thank you, Paul, for that. Now, you mentioned actually a couple of very important people, and I want to put some faces to the names as well. So Head of Enterprise in Leo and Longford, the local enterprise office, is Michael Nevin. Michael joins us here now, and thanks for popping in. I'm going to pop you up on the screen in a second. We have Anna Lane, actually, is going to join us as well, also from the local enterprise office. And then Martina. I got a lovely picture of you there, Martina. Actually, it's amazing what you can find online there. So we'll bring you in as well, because with everyone on the screen, you've seen the names, you've seen the schools, but we wanted to do it justice and show a little montage of just some of the innovation that are going to be judged and get some awards today. Here they come. Examples there of some of the entries. Michael, I know you want to have a chat with a shout out to some of the judges and who had the difficult job of choosing our winners today.
Yes, Noel, good afternoon, and you're welcome to Longford, I suppose, even in the virtual sense. And you're welcome to one of our favourite days of the year in the Leo office here. It's a chance for us to thank the students and the teachers who are involved in the Student Enterprise Programme, took part in the Student Enterprise Programme, to recognise the kind of efforts that they've made, to reward a number of those projects. We like to think that everyone who took part is a winner, and there's a lot of life learning and a lot of positive learning outcomes during the course of the program. And then importantly, to pick 3 winners to go forward to represent us, as Paul mentioned, at the national final to be held in May. So yeah, it's a very important day. A lot of people had to come together to make it happen. Martina Glenn, as you can see on the screen, there is our coordinator who goes out to meet the students, helps us to pull the programme and implement it through the different schools, and works with the teachers and the students. And Martina is a small business person in her own right, so she very readily understands the challenges involved in running a small business. And she's a great way with her in terms of presenting that across the students. So I'd like to thank Martina, and in my own office coordinates the programme on behalf of the Leo office. We've a number of judges, Carmel from the Leitrim Leo office, and Gillian Shaw from Mullingar have helped to judge the prizes. But I suppose it's a day we're all working in the background. It's really a day for the students today to kind of recognise the kind of efforts they've made. We hope it was a positive experience for them, and we hope they've learned a lot during the course of the programme. It's a great programme now for teachers in terms of covering off the kind of some of the basis, the business studies basis on their curriculum, and we think it's a very worthwhile programme.
And we mentioned about some of the efforts that the students have put in. Martina, you've been at the forefront of that and seeing, and in very difficult times, you know, COVID has affected everybody, but no less the students. They did all this remotely, didn't they?
They did. Well, I was lucky, Noel, in that some of the schools allowed me a visit for the first 2 sessions. There was only one particular school who didn't allow any visitors on site. And then all of the third visits were done virtually. But I found this year where people would probably have thought, you know, it's not viable to do the program this year. Student enterprise has become an integral part of school life and a schedule for them. So nobody said that would historically have got involved, we won't be able to do this year. In fact, they wanted to make sure that it took place. And thanks to a mix between, you know, physically able to visit the schools with all the, you know, the health and safety restrictions in place, they all embraced that openly, principals and schools alike. Made sure that it was a safe environment, not just for the students and the teachers, but also when I visited. And then for the final visit, no students were in school, as we all know. And, you know, I used Zoom in a paid capacity, so it allowed me, you know, a luxury thing of being able to use the polls and the chat facility. And, you know, I was able to share videos, and they interacted on the polls. It could play music through Spotify, lovely things that suited a target audience. And as a result, I would have felt that in fact it enhanced and it made people embrace technology. So going forward, I'd be very surprised if more schools don't continue in some fashion to do this. So a negative actually became a positive. And even just, you know, the different tips and the different material that was on Student Enterprise was particularly good this year. Like they had the layout of the website really, really good. All the resources were down at the very, very bottom. You could access with just a click of a button, be it teacher or students, all the worksheets you needed, all of those things really accessible. And then they had a fantastic thing. They had broadcasts every couple of weeks on a Monday evening, and it specifically honed in on an aspect of the program for the children and the teachers to brush up on and then implement in their own time and in class time. And like, there was things like Coggle, which was a wonderful mind map, free facility. I would use Smart Draw in my own business, but it's too expensive. Coggle was used, and it was wonderful, not only just for this, where they could actually collate all the different aspects of the program on a sheet of paper, and there it was in a graphical example of what their project was and their mini business. But they could also share it online, send an email link, and somebody else could join and make changes. Like lovely things like that were not just new for students, but were new for me as well. I would never have come across Coggle before, but I found it wonderful. The support system is great, and I've already mentioned, you know, the teachers and the students embracing all the changes. But the local enterprise office is wonderful that way. Like, it has always been there, as Michael has said, in a capacity for small businesses, but it is a hugely successful program here in Longford, and testimony to that was the fact that no school opted out in Longford that has always been involved in it. It didn't impact, as you can see, on all the different projects that came forward from each of the schools. And then Anna is right there as my chief point of contact for the local enterprise. Nothing's a problem. Don't you just love that? And then there's the national coordinator. So I can't thank, you know, the support of a local enterprise office. I've always done it in my capacity as an event manager for my own business, but this is particularly wonderful. There's always a solution. You know, the coordination is done. It's very smooth. And it was really, really good and slick this year. And even just, you know, I mentioned there about, you know, all the different things on the website. Social media for the student enterprise is available with all the links on their website up in the top right hand corner, but they ensured that the students as a target audience were accommodated. So when you went halfway down the homepage, past all the information. The main ones staring you in the face were Instagram, which is completely suitable for that target audience, and Facebook and Twitter, which is not quite as much used by them. But the little videos that were, whet the appetite, that led into more information, were on Instagram. So at the click of a button, this animated, gorgeous little videos were available for all the students. And it was all on one location. I don't know how many times I said, you go to studententerprise.ie. You'll find it on studententerprise.ie. Wonderful. And then, as I said, Yvonne and all the rest, it just all rolled in together. A huge success as far as I'm concerned. And then from the out, people would have said, no, not viable during COVID-19. Absolutely viable. And in fact, I found it was a lovely means to engage with perhaps students that, when they're sitting in a class and you'd ask a question, there's the few usual voices that come forward, but the polls that I used through Zoom, I could see it might be 35 or 40 on the Zoom call, and they all had to participate. So you could give everybody a chance to have a voice. Lovely, wonderful. Really enjoyed it very much this year.
No, it's super. And when you think about it, this time last year, we would have been in a hotel celebrating, and the technology has given us the reach. We have nearly 120 people watching live at the moment, and there's a big invite there down the bottom to give a shout out. So Christine Halpin is shouting out for Carl O'Brien, Teresa Jordan, Michael Jordan and Pat Jordan. Linda Riley is saying hi to everyone watching from Art School Porrig in Granard, so you're all very, very welcome. And Emma is tuning in from St. Mel's College and wishing everyone good luck. So I'll bring you in on this one, because reach is something that we never thought we would get to this scale using the technology. And it has changed for everybody, as Martina said, and as Michael said, we've embraced it. It's made your role tough but easier at the same time, hasn't it?
Well, I suppose really, Noel, it's a combination of both. I mean, this time last year, we were actually in the Longford Arms. Well, it would have been on the 12th of March, where we would have normally held a face-to-face event. But it was actually the day that Leo Varadkar announced that the schools were going to close that evening. So we just got the final in literally by the skin of our teeth. And initially, we were very kind of wondering how we were going to deliver the programme this year. But they successfully delivered the national final last year online. So it was possible that it could be done on a local level. Martina has touched on really everything in terms of the technology that was used. And she was great. She switched over to delivering all her workshops online, and there was no bother to her. The teachers themselves, I actually met a couple of them out when, if I was out walking or that. And a couple of them asked me, are you running the programme this year? Because unfortunately with COVID, a lot of the transition years that students had to be involved, a lot of their normal activities were cut. So they were delighted to have the programme this year, and it gave the students a real focus. So as Martina said, in one way, it was a bit of a restriction using the technology, but in another way, it really helped to enhance their IT skills, everybody's IT skills, the teachers, the students themselves. We had to learn about all these new technologies like Zoom and StreamYard and Teams, and we've all had to embrace it, and it just shows that it can be done. And in fairness, the teachers were great. They really, really, they embraced it this year, as did the students, and they were really, really keen to get involved. So, I have to say a big thank you to all of them and to our judges as well, who, were great. They had to do all the judging virtually. They had loads of reports and videos to go through, and all very impressed with the standard this year and the effort that was made by the students.
Well, we better show them what they're hoping to achieve. And this is how we're celebrating. And it is a celebration. And we're going to be using some of the technology today to celebrate the award ceremony this afternoon. So these are some of the trophies that some of the winners will be receiving today. Now, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Anna, and thank you, Martina. And I think Paul is still there. Bring Paul back in just very quickly. Paul was in the green room there for a while. Is there any canopies and champagne left in there, Paul? Because I'm going to put the guys back in there for a second.
I haven't found it yet. No.
I haven't found it yet. Well, thank you for no worries. Well, thank you for opening the session. But what we're going to ask everyone to do is take out your mobile phone, because we are going to run a little wee quiz, and we're going to use a thing called Menti to do that. So if you're viewing, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on a desktop, a laptop, a mobile phone, if you take out your mobile phone as a second screen, and we'll throw it up on the screen here in a second. Just bear with me. I'm just going to load it in as we have it. Give me a second. So I'll give you a chance to get your phones while you're doing that. Nothing like doing this live. And there we have it. So I'll present that up and I'll pop this up on the screen for you. Yep, we're good to go. So let me bounce that up. Right, so we'll throw this up on the screen for you. Now, so the instructions are a simple one. If you take out your mobile phone and you go to menti.com, so menti.com, and if you put in that code 61853158, or those of you that have your mobile phone with a camera on it, if you were to shine it at the screen at the little QR code there, it'll load in automatically for you. So menti.com 61853158. And what we said we would do to finish off this week, a couple of the other counties have been running their award ceremonies. And if you've been watching it, we're going to reward you a little bit because there's been a quiz running this week with 5 questions. If you've watched any of the other ones, you might know the answer to some of these questions already. So a little bit of a jump on that one. But the faster you answer, the more points that you score. And we have 4 prizes. So while there'll be an ultimate winner, we're probably going to give prizes to the top 4. And there's a €35 voucher up for grabs for position 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's have a quick go on this. So let's have a look. We can see 28 people in the bottom right-hand corner have clicked the little heart. So we'll kick off. We'll get going. So on the screen there, we're going to have a couple of questions. So these are your little avatars. We have 56 people entered already, which is great. So we'll give this a couple more minutes. If you put in your name or a little handle for yourself or a nickname, just make sure we can identify you. So if you are lucky enough to be a winner, you're going to have to be able to sell to your teacher. Yeah, that was me. That was my name. So pick a name that we can identify you with. Okay, we're up to 70 people have joined now. I'll give this another minute or two just to give, because we have nearly 200 people watching live at the moment, which is superb. Okay, so we're just over the 70 mark. So here we go. Question number 1. Now, remember, the quicker you answer, the more points that you will score. So here we go. Answer fast to get more points. Question number 1, which travels faster, light or sound? Off you go. The quicker you answer, the more points you score. It counts down, so you've got 7 more seconds to get your answer in. If everybody answers, it stops early. So here we are, 3, 2, 1, time's up, and the correct answer is light. And we've got 53 people got that correct. So congratulations. Let's see who answered the fastest. So here we go. And Paul Ross. Now, if that's Councillor Paul Ross, well done, right? Absolutely. So 977, you're 1 point ahead if that is you, Paul. Actually, Paul, I have to bring you in. Is that you?
It is me, yeah.
Good man, absolutely. Well, Jim, you're setting the standards here.
I have a history in quizzes, and actually my team won the Longford County Council table quiz at Christmas as well, Noel. But it's like Cheltenham. There's no point in being ahead now. You have to be ahead at the last question.
Well, now you have it, because there's another 4 to come, but it's well done. I'm showing you how it works. So Saoirse is 1 point behind you. Emily and Miska are 2 points behind you. And remember, it's the top 4 places. So let's go. We're going to go for question number 2. So here we go. Question 2 of 5. The quicker you answer, the more points you score, and they're added to the score from question 1. What is the 10th letter of the alphabet? Is it H, is it J, or is it K? The 10th letter of the alphabet. H, J, or K? 3, 2, 1. Time's up. And we've got 58 people went for the middle one, which is J, and that is correct. So let's see who was fastest this time. And they're added then into it. Oh, there's a big change now. Let's see. Oh, Paul, you're still there. Right, let's see if that adds true. Yeah, you're still there, but you've dropped down. So well done, Jason. Well done, Connor. This is how it works. So we're 2 questions out of the 5 done, and we have 2 new leaders. So well done, Jason. 1955. Connor and Paul are on 1945, and Gary Kennedy is there on 1940. Aoife Townsend is there with Chocos on 1939. It's very tight at the top. So here we go. Question number 3. Remember, the faster you answer, the more points you get. In what county is the Cliffs of Moher? Ready? Go. Is it Clare? Is it Galway? Is it Sligo? 10 more seconds remaining. In what county are the Cliffs of Moher? Are they Clare, Galway, or Sligo? So let's see how that went. We got 66 people went for Clare, and they're correct. Well done. So let's see now who was the fastest and what that's done to our leaderboard. Oh, big changes here now in this one. So let's see what happens here when they're added up. And Paul, you're back up on the top again. Now 29-20. So two marks and 2 points ahead of Gary Kenny, Chocos, Connor Smith, Maxwell, Megan, Leah, Jace, Aoife Townsend, and Chloe. So all to play for because it's really tight here. So here we go. Let's go for question 4 of 5. So this is the second last hurdle, Paul, if we were to do it on the Cheltenham analogy. And it's always the last fence, though, isn't it? It's always the last fence. So here we go. The second last question. The faster you answer, the more points you get. What Elsa's song was called in the first Frozen film? What was Elsa's song called in the first Frozen film? Was it Let It Be? Was it Let It Fall? Or was it Let It Go? Everyone's voted. Now that was fast. Absolutely. 62 people went for Let It Go. I could hear you all sing it in the background. So let's see what that's done to the points just before we go into the last question. Oh, Chloe did very well on that one. It's very tight on this one now. So let's see where that does to the leaderboard. So Chocos take over the lead. Well done, Chocos, on 3882. 3877 is Gary Kenny. Paul, you're still there at 3858. Maxwell was the fastest in that one and jumped straight into 4th position. Then we got Leah, Megan, Aoife Townsend, Siobhan, Chloe, and Mel. So this is it. It's all down to the final fence, the last question, to decide our top 4 placements, who will each receive a €35 voucher each. So here we go. Question 5 of 5. The last question. The faster you answer, the more points you get. What is the Irish for cow? Is it Mo, Madra, or Bo? 10 seconds remaining. Mo, Madra, or Bo? And let's see where we go now. The fastest one on this, we'll see. So 68 went for Bo. Well done. And the fastest that we can see on this one, let's see how it goes. Oh, pretty much everyone is there pretty fast. So let's have a quick look. And we'll add those to the top. And Gary Kenny is the winner at 4848, followed by Paul Ross, who are going to disqualify because for insider trading. Absolutely. Paul, yeah, so it's the top 5, but we're going to kick you out on this one. Sorry about that.
That's only fair, Noel.
Of course it is, but I tell you, you're good with the fingers. Well done, getting in there pretty fast. I thought the Elsa song would throw you, but there you go. Let it go.
It almost threw me, but I have young kids.
Well done, Gary. So Paul, congratulations, you finished second, but we're kicking you out. So the next 3 people listed who are each going to receive a €35 voucher along with Gary is Maxwell, Chocos, and Siobhan. So we have that live on the screen. We'll save those little avatars for you. So what we'll ask you to do is to contact your teacher. And that's why you're disqualified, Paul, because you can't contact your teacher. That's where it happens. So, Mayor, thank you for playing that and doing so well on it. We really appreciate it. So if you're a student and you did pretty well on that one, and you're in those top leaders, which was we had Gary Kenny, Maxwell, Chocos, and Siobhan. So if you will contact your teacher, we'll make contact with them. We'll make sure that we get the vouchers to you. So congratulations. Michael, I have to bring you in there. The mayor was playing. Did you not jump in and try and play that?
I was afraid Noel was going to run away with all the prizes there. And the last question really suited him, the Irish for Cow, because he has a big herd of cattle himself. So their last question wasn't even a hurdle for him, but we rightly disqualified him, I think, yeah.
I think so. I think so. Absolutely. Well, we have a very special guest, and thank you to Anna and Martina and Michael for organising this. But he's in the green room. We're going to introduce you to Dara Green, our Irish Olympian. So I'll see if I can bring Dara in here, and we'll have a quick chat. Let me see if we can get him. Joined by a very proud Longford man from Dara Green. Dara, how are you doing?
Hi, Noel. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thanks. And thanks very much for taking time out of what is a very busy schedule as a full-time professional swimmer. And you were all set to represent Ireland, and still are, at the Olympics, whenever they'll take place. But where were you? I think COVID, when it was announced, where were you when it was announced? Is a question that everyone remembers. Where were you when this happened? You were in the airport, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a funny story, actually. We were on a trip. It was supposed to be a competition. We were supposed to head over to Edinburgh, and we got to the airport, and literally as we were coming up to the boarding gate, Leo announced at the time that the country was going into lockdown, which we didn't know at all. And straight away it went from 0 to 100, from pretty much stopping at the gate, and all of a sudden the head coach getting a phone call saying for none of us to get on the plane, because we wouldn't know if we'd even get back into the country at that stage, because nobody knew what like a full lockdown was, to COVID hitting Ireland as well. So yeah, it was kind of a weird old scenario, trying to get our bags off the plane to pretty much turn around the entrance to the airport, which we were just guided out. And we went back, did a bit of training, and that was the Friday. And then it was the Tuesday evening, then we were 2 weeks out from Olympic trials, and the performance director came down and just said, yeah, this was the last training session everyone will be at for the foreseeable future. He was just like, oh, it'll just be a 2-week job kind of thing. But sure, the situation that we're in now, like, it's nearly coming up to a year with it.
Yeah, so a year ago when the Taoiseach at the time, Leo Varadkar, announced that, and you were going to meet up with the other parts of the squad. So let's talk about the journey to that. So as a swimmer, when did swimming start to be on your radar? It always starts at a young age for most people. How old were you when you got into that realm of swimming for Ireland?
It wasn't until the last... I started swimming when it was around 8 years old with Longford Swim Club. Didn't take it up too serious at the time. Was involved in a lot more other sports at the time as well. But yeah, I was in my junior year, and I broke my leg at the time, and so I had to stop all sports, obviously. And the first sport I was able to get back into was swimming. And so I kind of found like a lost love for the sport anyways, and just kind of decided not to take up any other sport at the time as well, and pretty much focused on from then. And yeah, it's been in the last 4 years now. It was 4 years ago, last summer, it was first kind of international I represented Ireland at.
So from a goal point of view, I mean, if we can get you to go back to your school days, do you remember the Student Enterprise Programme? Was that happen in any of the years you were there?
Yeah, I think it was transition year when I was in Mel's. So, yeah. So
passion is always something we talk about, when people are looking to set up their own business. It's nice to do something that you like doing. And swimming was one of your passions. And there was a little bit of a happy accident, as you said there. So there was a leg break, was there?
Yeah, broke my leg.
So at the time you're thinking, oh my God, life is over, broke my leg, what am I going to do? And then you get a chance to think of things new, follow a new dream, and swimming becomes the goal. When did you realize you were good at it?
I'd say it was within the last couple of years. It was kind of one of those things that I was always hesitant to myself about, as in everyone else is, to commit 110% to it kind of way, because it was swimming. I definitely find out of all sports, it's like individual. So whatever you put in, you get out straight away. Like, say, you can't really expect the best results if you're only doing a half arse in that kind of sense. So that, like, it's a very cutthroat kind of sport, which I kind of like about it. Yeah, but like, it's in that kind of sense, like, it's not really a team sport. You have the relays, yes, but you have to rely on 3 other lads to step up and do an individual swim, and you can't really hide you might get away with hiding on a football team to anything else. So
and it requires a lot of training and dedication. So you're just training, I think it's 6 days a week. You're doing 9 or 10 pool sessions for a couple of hours, aren't you?
Yeah, so we have 9 to 10 pool sessions a week, 6 days a week. They'd roughly be around 2 to 2.5 hours, depending. We'd be up to 6 to 7 kilometers a session.
And then there's some gym sessions on top of that, isn't there?
Yeah, we have 3 gym sessions spread across the week as well, along with, and then you'd put in with physio checkups to nutrition to anything else you kind of need recovery wise.
And then as part of qualifying for the Olympics, I think the magic one was under a minute, wasn't it, for the 100-meter breaststroke? So you broke that, and I think you were the first Irish swimmer to do it.
Yeah, the first Irish swimmer to break a minute for the 100-meter breaststroke, which was kind of one of those big kind of milestones the country has.
So a lot of the students would have been talking about doing a little bit of business planning and planning their goals and working things through. That is a big, hairy, audacious goal for you, wasn't it? It was to shave those milliseconds off to get underneath the qualifying time. What's that like, to have that laser focus to achieve a goal like that?
You have to be fully committed with it and patient at the same time, because a lot of things, I know myself, I have a lot more failures than accomplishments in that kind of sense. But yeah, it was kind of like you really have to stick to your plan and kind of not change it whatsoever, because if you keep swapping and changing plans, you don't know which works, which doesn't work for you. So that was one of the main things, even with training and stuff, where like my coach has set out, like, he knows every single session that I'm doing right up to the Olympic Games last day kind of way. So it goes into that kind of strategic planning.
And I often think from the outside looking in that it's a very arduous program to take on as a sports person. You still have fun though, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things you kind of, you realize why you're getting up so early in the morning and stuff. Yeah, like, it's like I wouldn't have been able to dream of being able to kind of represent my country and be able to qualify for Olympic Games, like, and compete against the best in the world without having a bit of fun.
And do you give yourself much recovery time? So after some of these massive efforts to get a good time and to qualify, you give yourself a bit of Dara time, don't you? Yeah,
I tried to kind of leave the swimming side, or like the kind of swimming mindset, at the pool and at the gym. Once I get home, really, I don't really like to talk about it that much. Like, you're kind of just like, I'd rather get out, meet friends over coffee before all this kind of thing happen. But you're just trying to chill out, really. You can't really fry the head thinking about it 24/7.
Dara, one of the great things and why I love talking to sports people is it really aligns with business. And many sports people after their professional career go in and start up a business because they align an awful lot. And I'm just want to rewind on some of the things you said there. You mentioned about being patient, that with the sport, it takes a long time to build it up. And then you get back what you put into it. So there's a lot of time involved in it. You give yourself a bit of Dara time, so a bit of recovery, and have fun while doing it. So I suppose to all the students that are here tonight and today, I should say, that are competing in this process of the Student Enterprise Programme, what advice would you give them as somebody who's a sports person, but those aligned to setting up a business?
Definitely would be kind of the three main points that I'd really stand by is kind of to be patient, definitely, kind of work hard, as in give as much as you possibly can into it, and you'll see the return in the end. You might not see it straight away, but you'll get a return in it. And yeah, just once you're enjoying it and having fun with it, that's kind of the main kind of end point of it, because like what you stand for and stuff is going to show to people. And like even just this opportunity now, like I just had a dream, had a goal with it all, and I had this opportunity to talk to yourself, to be able to give a bit of my kind of experience in my life where I am today. Hopefully just to kind of give a bit of advice to any like other students itself.
Now, Dara, it's super, and I know that you're going to wish all the students well in the as they represent Longford as we go on to the finals, and hopefully national, because you've gone county to national yourself and now international. So we wish you the very, very best representing us in the Olympics. If it goes ahead, you've had no word of that yet, sure you haven't?
Yeah, so for what we know now, it's going ahead. So the head is down. I'm in my own little bubble out here, so that's what it is here.
And the bubble is you're in Dublin at the moment training, isn't that it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, from the pool to home, and that's it really.
Yeah, and it is tough staying motivated, you know, when things are around you that are quite tough, especially COVID. Any bit of advice on that for the guys tonight?
Yeah, like especially when everything hit with COVID, and there's a lot of you get a lot of media attention, especially with something big as the Olympics going ahead, not going ahead, and like there's so much controversy over people saying it's not going ahead in that kind of sense, but everyone's hearing the opposite, like on our side. All you could do is kind of keep the blinkers on, heads down, and just not kind of get distracted. Like as my coach says, and what we go on about is like control the controllables. That's the easiest thing to do. There's no point of worrying about stuff that you can't control in that kind of sense.
That's great advice. It really is. Only worry about the things that you can control. Leave the other stuff alone. Dara, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you the very best with your quest to bring home a medal, and the very best of luck with that.
No, thank you, and I'd just like to wish everyone the best of luck. Yeah, hopefully see some of you in a few years anyway. So yeah, best of luck.
Brilliant, Dara. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you.
Cheers.
He's a super guy, isn't he? Absolutely. I'm going to bring in Martina and Michael, because one of the things Dara said there, and I suppose this is a message, because as we just go into the presentations now, there'll be some students that will be a little bit disappointed that they won't get their call out or win. And as Dara said there, failure is part of the game, isn't it? You know, that's how we learn. That's how we evolve. Martina, Michael, any messages for the students just before we go into the
just to say, Noel, I know Dara myself personally, and that was a heartwarming interview. You know, he's the hardest working athlete in Ireland, or has been over the last 10 years, and he totally deserves to go to Tokyo, and we wish him all the best, and hopefully he gets to realise his dream. Like in terms of the qualities that you mentioned that are aligned to business people, you know, he's such a hard worker. He gets up at 5:30 every morning, 6 days a week, and has done that for the last 10 years. The amount of commitment and dedication, the drive and the passion that he has for his sport, that's what we kind of looking for in our young people who are considering a career in business or setting up business in the future. And he's right. There are most of our successful business people in Ireland have failed, and some of them have failed several times. But they've learned from that failure, and that's been very important, you know. So it's not that if you don't win this competition today, you'll never be an entrepreneur. Of course you will. You know, we need a percentage of the young people, the students here today, to become entrepreneurs, because by doing that, they create employment opportunities for others. So hopefully, if only 5 or 10% of the people watching today went on to run their own businesses, think of all the job opportunities that they will create for others. So failure is just part of the learning process, and everyone can bounce back from failure. And Dara Green, as he said, I'm sure he hasn't failed, but he hasn't met his goals a number of times, perhaps as it was planned. But he's far surpassed where he might have thought he might be 10 years ago. And now he's an Olympian, or will be an Olympian in June. So it's a great story. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, Michael. And Martina, I think, to continue that, entrepreneurship is more skill than natural talent. When you think about it, like he wasn't a natural swimmer. He learned that by practicing and dedication. And entrepreneurship is pretty much the same, isn't it?
Yeah, I know I first of all, I want to, second everything that Michael said there, to wish Dara the very best of luck. A wonderful story and a wonderful young man. And I wish him the very best. And he did highlight an awful lot of comparisons between his journey and people in life, as they transition from, into a working life from academia. And there are going to be disappointments and things like that. But the program in Student Enterprise, the valuable thing to remember here is, I always said to the students, it's one wonderful program that will teach you one of two things: either how to be a great business owner, or how to be a great employee going forward, because you get an insight into all the aspects of a live business. And that's why the whole fundamentals behind this from the out are: your business idea must be a viable business proposition. Otherwise, it's just a hobby. But people who have taken the road to go down Student Enterprise, and as we said from the very beginning, there were lots of them this year, they've all learned the fundamentals of running a business. And going forward, whether they are the winner, and it's very tight, there's an awful lot of entries across the country, there can only be one winner. But to me, the fact that they've learned so much from nothing in establishing a business and how it successfully runs, they can use that going forward, not just at the tender age that they're at now, but actually when they become fully grown adults, and learn that it's part of a learning curve to make something good, great, or learn from a disappointment, and that nothing is necessarily a failure. To us, a failure is not achieving a goal, but there's a learning process involved that you can actually use, and it's up to yourself whether you want to see that as a positive or a negative. And the program very much highlights that it is a positive. Any successful business person will tell you that they've had unsuccessful ideas or plans along the way, but you stick to the fundamentals of planning, because failing to plan, as they say in all business, is planning to fail. But he's an example of that, albeit a sporting world. He too has to apply all the positivity that's required going forward. And as a result, there's a strong comparison there. But I really wish him well. Yes, he ticked all the boxes for his field, but it actually runs parallel with all the things that make business successful. And so I wish all the students the very best of luck. But I think they all will have learned much from the Student Enterprise Programme as they evolved from September right through to today. But I wish them all the best. I just wish, to me, they were all fantastic, and they learned an awful lot. So going forward, I hope that they remember a lot of the key things that the programme taught, because they are real education aspects.
Well, the timer started there. Sorry for cutting you short on that one, Martina, because we're going to go straight into the awards. I can see the comments are flying in here. They're saying, when are we going to get our prizes? So we'll go straight to it. And Michael, you're going to stay with us because we have some special awards. And the very first one is for the best presentation. So you might explain this award just before we announce the winner.
Yes, no, this is kind of an all-round award in terms of how the group presented themselves, presented their product, and presented their business report. And the winners, will I announce are you ready for the winners?
Ready to go. Yeah. Off you go.
Yeah, the winners are Nitty Gritty from Mansfield Wirra in Longford, and Claire Keegan, Anna Lynch, and Karen O'Boyle.
Congratulations, and your trophy will be on its way to Nitty Gritty. So Claire, Anna and Karen, well done. We're going to move on to the next award. So Best Business Development.
Best Business Development is a group from Moyne Community School called Frame It, and the judges said it was very good teamwork and evidence here. Louise Tierney, Rena Murphy, Siobhan Murphy, and Orla McGurn. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, so Moyne Community School and Frame It. So well done. And the next one, we have two special merit awards. So we have two winners of this one, haven't we?
Yeah, the first one we're staying in Moyne Community School. It's Cloud9 Coasters. It's a sustainability and circular economy project producing handmade coasters, different designs from recycled tiles. And the circular economy is becoming more and more important. So we're going to see a lot more projects in this fair over the next few years. So well done to Emer Bishop and Aoife Cummings on that.
Well done, absolutely. And the other one, they got a preview of the next winner, which was Recover.
Yeah, roll cover, St. Mel's College Longford, sorry, Connor Smith, yeah. This is a portable cycle cover for a bicycle helmet, and we're seeing more and more people locked down out cycling, so safety is a big issue and a big concern, so it's great to see products coming through there in that space. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to both, and as we said, the trophies are on their way there to you. They're winging their way at the moment. Anna now is getting the courier to deliver them straight away. Most creative business idea.
Yeah, this is a really strong researched idea, well-researched idea, based around COVID, a new COVID testing device. And it's Cian O'Hara, Save Your Breath from Canuck Secondary School.
Congratulations to Save Your Breath with Cian O'Hara, Canuck Secondary School. Congratulations. We have then the next award. So we're going to take the next couple of sections, and then we have a small break where we have some teachers awards, but we'll go first of all into the junior category. So we have the runner-up and the winner in this category. So the runner-up, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, well, I have to say my wife is a deputy principal in this school, and this school has won the 2 junior prizes, and I have to assure people there's no bias involved, that we run a very fair competition. Yeah, but the 2 prizes in the junior category go to Arts Gold Forest. The runner-up is Chocos, Alex Jordan O'Brien, and he produced a very nice video.
Well, congratulations to Chocos and Alex Jordan O'Brien, Arts Gold Forest in Granard. And then the winner in the junior category.
Yeah, the winner, there's 2 people involved in the winning project, Cian Brady and Ryan Spallin, but we were sent a little video by Cian, and we got to know all about him, that he's a big Liverpool fan, and we got to know all about his family, and we got to know about all the animals on his farm. And we got the most lovely video from Cian, and hopefully in the next few years we see people's personality shine through like Cian. I think there's a movie star in the making there. So he produced a controller and headset stands, and well done to Cian and Ryan.
That's fantastic. So Arts Gold Forest take the title in the junior category. So RNC controller stands, Cian and Ryan. Congratulations to you both. So we're going to move on to the next category, which is the intermediate category. We have an overall winner for that one.
Yeah, an overall winner. Very, very clever product. Now coming to the fore in COVID, when we all hopefully come out of lockdown and all the sports start to come on stream again, people are more reluctant to go into dressing rooms and go into enclosed spaces. So this is a handy hook that you put on the fence on sports grounds, and you can put your gear on the hook while you're engaged, when you're playing the sport, and it's safe, and it's a great idea. And it's come from Chloe Hopkins and Amy Kelly in Ballymahan Vocational School. So well done.
Congratulations, Chloe and Amy. Handy hooks. You probably saw that in the montage where you could see the handing your water bottle and your jacket and everything.
Really clever idea, yeah.
Very clever. So congratulations to Ballymahan Vocational School and Chloe and Amy. Now, before we go into the final category, which is the senior, I am going to address the teachers. So we might bring back in Anna and Martina for this one. So very hard working, to be working under very difficult circumstances. So we have 2 prizes, isn't that right?
Yeah.
What are the 2 prizes? Do you mind me asking?
Well, we have 2 one-for-all vouchers to the value of €75 each. So there's 1 each per teacher.
Brilliant. So
two winners.
We literally got to spin the wheel twice. So when using all the technology we have, and we'll go again. And I think, to celebrate the hard work that the teachers have been putting in. So,
yeah, absolutely.
and thank you, Anna, and thank you, Martina, for all the work with the teachers. And we can see the efforts in all the entries from the students. They really reflect all the hard work that everyone put in. So thank you both. So let's go back to the main event, if you like. So we're going to go to the senior category. So Michael, we'll get you to do the honours on this one as well. And the runner-up in the senior category.
Yeah, I think one of the teachers who won a prize is connected to this. We've some teachers there have been with us for a long number of years, like Miriam Keegan, who've been a great supporter of the Student Enterprise Programme for a dozen years or more now. So we'd like to thank the teachers again for all their efforts. And the runner-up comes from Ballymahon Mercy Secondary School. It's tremendous decorations. And
congratulations. So Amy Chalmers, Chiva Gillen, Saoirse McLaughlin and Siobhan Egan. So tremendous decorations. Great play on the board.
Very nice seasonal product with little wooden decorations and very well presented. Yeah, so a very nice group. Yeah.
Brilliant. So well done, Ballymahon Mercy Secondary School. And that brings us then to the big one. So the senior category, the overall winner, Michael.
The overall winner for this year is a project from Longford Town here, from Manscoil Murrah, and it's Picture It by Ella Duggan, Megan Glennon, Anna Flynn, and Aoife Cullen. And
congratulations to Picture It. So Ella, Megan, Anna, and Aoife, congratulations from Manscoil Murrah. And Michael, the winners and the finalists are going on to the national final in May, isn't that right?
They've gone to the national final. Just to say well done to the winning group there. They produced personalised picture frames and very strong all-round project. And the three category winners now will go forward to represent County Longford on May the 14th at the national final. It'll be virtual this year, obviously, for obvious reasons, and we'll be in touch with them to kind of help them bring their projects forward to that date.
Well, congratulations to everyone and that was involved in the Student Enterprise Programme and the finals in County Longford, and a real celebration, I think, of innovation and entrepreneurship in the county, and long may it continue.
Can we just, before you go, Noel, just to thank you and your team for pulling it all together and making the technology work. I think it went fairly well. It seemed to work seamlessly. So well done to you and your team. And to thank all the participants again and all the students involved. And we hope to see some of them back to the local enterprise office, not necessarily over the next year or two. It might be 10 or 15 years when they graduate through their colleges or their apprenticeships, but coming back to us with small business ideas to run their own little business, hopefully in County Longford, and bringing some wealth back to her and keeping wealth in our local economy. So thanks to everyone involved. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Martina. And thank you, Anna.
Thanks, Noel.
Not at all. We'll leave with two videos. The first one is a rerun of the montage, because you would have heard some of the winners there, and it's nice to spot their products and their offerings in this little wee video. Thank you all very, very much. We wish you the very best. Stay safe. Look after each other. Slán go fóill.